Bismillah.
Bismillah.
And their parents are going through so much stress, separation, anxiety, and specifically the story about Liam Ramos have completely broke my heart, and I know that Norajan struggled with it even a couple days before me. We also want to acknowledge the beautiful souls of Tamir Rice and Hind as well. This is our topic for today. We wanted to discuss how do we deal with grief of what's happening in our countries when we have to mother our own children. How do we talk about those things to our children? How do we still care for them and for ourselves when we see so much pain in outside world? Right, Norajan, how are you doing?
I'm not well. I'm not well. This week was so emotional. Opening up your phone and just seeing everything that's happening in Minnesota. Gaza, what's happening in Gaza is no longer far removed from our everyday reality. It is here on our soil. It is in Minnesota, which is still far away from where we live, but it could happen any moment right here, right now, where we are. Seeing Liam being handled by these agents like a criminal was very hard for me to see. What's happening right now in this country, in Minnesota, specifically, ridiculous. They're ripping up families. What are they doing with the kids? Where are these kids going? Where's Liam?
Yes, I think as mothers, it's just really hard to witness when any child is mistreated. I think like motherhood truly like radicalized me in that way that I see my children and every child that's out there. Additionally, there's news came through of her ICU nurse being murdered by ICE agents as well during the events in Minnesota. It really hits so close to home, seeing children being separated from their families, understanding that children are being just snapped off the streets and we don't know how are they doing, what is happening to them. It's like really hard to be silent about. It's very hard to process that. It's very hard to look at your children and not being afraid for their future. You mentioned that like I'm not well, right? That's how you started. And I think like every single mother out there will agree with you. Like we all collectively say we are not well. How do you care for your child while all of this happening?
Right now, when it comes to the filtering, I'm not going to lie, there's no filter. I cannot filter. I feel like I need to know, even though this is very upsetting, I can't look away because this is a child. This could have been my child. Liam is my kid. Like he's also my kid, you know?
He is collectively our child.
He's our child.
So is Hint and so is Tamir. They're all
Everyone.
collectively our children. So is those kids who have died from so many school shootings. We as mothers collectively feel that pain and collectively feel that common humanity. And it's something that I always been a proposer of you have to accept good and bad of that world, right? To exist in it. And you kind of almost have to be grateful for bad things in the world as well, because it comes with just the fact that we exist. And this is something that I just can't. Like this is something that I couldn't be okay with what is happening in Gaza for all these years, not just for the last couple of years, but I'm talking about all the years before that and today in our country as well.
Yeah, you know, like the school shootings, for example. Even before I was a mother, that broke my heart. That is my biggest fear in this world, is to hear that there's like another school shooting. But now I feel like with these agents, it's like a free for all. It's like even if they weren't a part of this organization, maybe they, maybe they enjoy hurting people. Like, what is that saying? If you love what you do, it's like you never have to work a day in your life. I feel like these agents are having such a good time. This is like their playground. They're playing video games in real life. They're taking people off the streets. in real time in front of everyone in broad daylight, ripping up families, now taking kids and using them as bait. Do you not have
I think
kids?
Yeah, I think that hatred for maybe immigrants or for different races definitely have played a role in their decision to be recruited into ICE or joined ICE forces. There is also reports that IDF is training ICE agents. So whatever we were seeing through the pictures and videos that was happening in Gaza, we are seeing like a repeat of tactics coming back to
So
your motherhood. Like, yes, it's very frustrating what's happening around us. Yes, it's impossible to accept that. How you handling being a mother, being a wife, going to work while processing the abduction of Liam? How are you dealing with that when you have to engage in your motherhood?
for me, when I go down that rabbit hole is at bedtime. We do have a strict bedtime, and that is when I can really doom scroll and I can get more information. I'm not able to filter it. I really am not. So I'm not able to take care of myself. I'm just holding myself up just because I have to, just because I need to go to work, just because I need to be a mom. I'm just doing it just because I have to. I wish I could do more. I wish I could go in the streets. I wish I could scream and yell and shout. I need to be there for my kid. I feel guilty that I'm not doing more. And all I can do is look on my phone and share information that is relevant to this. So that's the bare minimum. And I think now that we have this platform, I feel this is a way for us to process this, and I'm feeling a lot better. Because when I talk, for example, I talk to my family, I talk to my parents. They are so far removed from the reality of what is going on here. Oh, it's okay. It's not, nothing's, it's going to get better. Or, I said the other day, it's like, I am actually not doing well. Oh, life should be beautiful. It's not beautiful here. Life is not beautiful here in the States.
I think it
I'm
can be
having a hard time.
both. Right. Okay. Yeah. I think there is definitely like a lot of emotion, and yet there is space for both. One of the things that I have learned through therapy and through kind of deep self-reflection, that it truly could be both, right? Life can be beautiful and wonderful, and at the same time it could be extremely painful and horrible. I remember seeing my cancer patients going through so much pain and suffering, and I was looking at all of that, and yes, it's extremely painful to see what I was witnessing. And at the same time, I saw so much beauty in it because I could see the humanity of their loved ones caring for them, their humanity for fighting the cancer. And I think looking at the streets of Minnesota on the videos that I was seeing, it's painful and it's heartbreaking what I was witnessing. And I also see the people who were risking their own well-being, their own lives, their own comfort on the streets. When they shot the ICU nurse, he was protecting another human being. But when he was shot, right? Like when the woman was shot, she was protecting her neighbor. There is enormous amount of pain in all of those situations, and there is so much beauty. You can see the collective humanity of people just rising and not accepting what's happening. You can see the collective compassion of mothers for this child, where people are sharing, like nobody just could scroll through a child being abducted by ICE agent. And language matters. We cannot use language, the child was arrested, or we really can't use that language. He was abducted. The child
Yeah.
was abducted. Every single citizen who was detained by ICE agent for whether it's for 15 minutes or a day, they were abducted by those agents. So this is one of the things that I was kind of thinking about when you were talking. And yes, unfortunately, we only as humans care for the environment that is around us. There are so many people who never shared anything about Gaza, but now when it's touched them on the streets of their
Mm-hmm.
towns, now they are
Mm-hmm.
upset. I don't think it's good or bad. I do believe that it's very human to do that, that we only care for things that like immediately affect us. And when you said about being a mom and you were saying, I'm not filtering that. What I'm hearing is like, as mothers, we don't have tools for that. We really don't. Like, we've never seen something like that happening before. Yes, we just lived through that through Gaza. And back then, we didn't have any tools to process and filter it. And how are we? And I think it's the time. I'm actually was thinking about it a lot for the last 2 days. That is the time. That is a wake up call for us as mothers to create those tools. How do we filter the environment outside so we can be present for our kids? That we are not too short with them because our mind is just traumatized by all the pain that we just saw on our phone. Our phone became a window to the whole world, right? I don't believe ever before any generations of mothers have experienced what we experiencing. They haven't seen the whole video of a person being killed, of a child being murdered, of a mother being taken out of the rubble from the house that was bombed on top of her. We've seen the pieces of human bodies, of human flesh being retracted from all of the rubbles. I don't think like ever in a human history that we have gone through something like this, where at of a click of a button, we opening up this horrific world that's out there, and we have zero, absolutely zero tools or awareness that we need to filter that, right? Like, we don't have any even awareness. Well, yeah, I'm doom scrolling through all of that, and I don't even know how it's affecting me. I'm not even having awareness of like how it's affecting my children, how it's going to affect my marriage, how it's going to affect my house.
Yeah.
Looking around my house yesterday, I was like, wow, like it's a mess. And I cannot like even motivate myself to get up because this meaning is lost in that when you see a human being being, I don't want to use detained, abducted, hurt, and killed. Everyday life of playing with my child and cleaning up and making a nice dinner for them with a little funny faces made out of food becomes so meaningless, and I cannot motivate myself into engaging in all of that.
Yeah, I think because the extra energy that that we have left for our families is very small at this point. There's just so much information in my head, and I was stuck at one point. I'm like, what do I do? Where do I start? And then you have a little one here, mommy, come play with me. For me, it's the survivor's guilt of Gaza, guilt of someone's 4 year old being abducted while mine is here safe and comfy and warm and has no idea what is going on. Alhamdulillah, I don't want her to know. I don't want her to know this world. I don't know what else I can do as an individual, as a mother. What can I do to
Yeah.
help make this better?
Yeah, I think like you point out very important topic is the survivor guilt. I would also call it a mother guilt because we are here managing what's on our plate, right? It's our children, it's our work, the household, the marriage. And as a woman, you have a lot of responsibility in all of that. You are that balancing force. So you are this feminine, warm, cozy energy and force that holds all of that together. You truly are, as a mother, have this important role. So when your energy is shaking, that whole foundation starts shaking as well. So we kind of trying to refocus on those things. You are trying to make some difference. I thought about it. I have the nursing skills to go and volunteer there. But how can I? I have 3 little souls that depend on me in a household. Very often I think to myself, like, yeah, I need to go and like, I want to go and protest. I want to go join the team of people who are protesting. And then your kid gets sick. And then another
Yeah.
gets sick. You are all night up trying to make sure that they like recover as soon as possible, that you have absolutely no energy. And the only outlet is that social media outlet that we are able to at least spread the information. And of course, there is different, like, I would love to mothers to comment here and let us know, first of all, like, what are you doing to filter that, and how are you able to take care of your children? Because we obviously don't have the answers, right? How are you able to focus on your family and take care of your children while experiencing all that outside world through your phone?
Yeah.
And also, how are you able, what are you doing for that social engagement and social advocacy, social activism, to fulfill your responsibility as a citizen, as a mother, as a collective mother of all of those children that are affected, while having to fulfill all of the responsibility that's right in front of you, like your children, your marriage, your household, and your
Your
work.
work. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I, I don't know. The thing is, like, I don't know if filtering is a thing anymore. I think right now it's about coping because I don't think
Coping, yeah,
nothing has been
that's
filtered in the last few years. Nothing has been filtered. Everything's coming into our world, our home. So
mm-hmm,
our I don't think our homeostasis has been shaky already for the last few
mm-hmm,
years. I think it's a matter of how do you cope, how do you
mm-hmm.
deal, how do you take care of yourself.
Coping is a great word and the right word actually for this conversation. Coping is very active. It's like using certain tools to cope with stress. So that wave of things, it's not swallowing you, but you are riding the wave. What is the, is there any coping skills that you were able to apply for the last like week or so?
My embroidery, I'm still working. My embroidery. I am very thankful because of the type of work I do. It is very humanitarian based.
Mm-hmm.
So we are able to talk about things at work. We are able to process things at work. But yeah, we've been able to process this at work. We are a humanitarian organization. We see people as humans. We don't refer to anyone in a dehumanizing way. In my job, there's a collective depression, I can say. We're all feeling it. It's there. We're acknowledging the messiness in this world. We're acknowledging that this is not normal. And a lot of people that I know, they are doing the extra step by advocating or going to protests, going to rallies. What we can do as moms, we can call representatives. I think that's an easy thing that we can do. I can put in some information later, like who we can call to demand the release of Liam, to demand a ceasefire. Like, I feel like we need to demand a ceasefire for Minnesota. Do you feel that way, Lina? Like, I feel like because of the messiness, it's been like a war zone there. And I feel like it's only a matter of time it's going to reach our turf if nothing's done.
You started with embroidery, and this is something that takes your mind off. I see mango is comforting you right now.
Lina Jen, can you tell me what you've been doing? You have 3 little ones that keep you busy. Can you tell me what you've been doing to take care of yourself, coping or healing, however you feel?
Sorry, like I'm just trying to deal with the emotion right now. I think like it's definitely, I'm definitely much more short with like people around me in general, like whether it's my children, my husband, my coworkers. I do believe that between like our reaction to something happening and our reaction, there is that space when we're able to pause and center. And most of the time for the last several years, I was able to tap into this space. I believe the space is only available to us when we are well taken care of. And I can make an example. So if you can remember yourself like not sleeping well, maybe scrolling through the phone, seeing all of those horrible things for the last year, like in Gaza, and then somebody comes and like cuts you off, you're gonna honk on them, you're just gonna react right away. Versus if you slept well and you had your morning cuddle with your loved ones and you had your breakfast and you're having a slow morning and somebody cuts you off, you're like, well, they must be in a hurry, something must happen to them, right? Like we are able to tap into that only when it's available for us, only when we are well taken care of. And I do believe that definitely I'm lacking that, and I need to make this conscious. At right now, my call to action is truly to for myself first of all, but also for mothers out there. My call to action is tap into that coping tools and coping mechanism that you do have. It's a call action to myself. Like, I'm definitely gonna be. I kind of started it yesterday in the evening, but I'm also gonna be sitting down with myself and try to understand how I can take care for myself so I can be a better mom and a better wife and a better coworker and a better friend. So I'm not short that I can tap into my pauses and to my patience. As much as possible, I'm continuing my routines with children. I'm continuing my routines with working out, or I'm paying attention what I'm eating. I wasn't able to do much more. It's like a basic minimum to care for myself. So I'm have this basic availability, emotional availability for at least my children.
Yeah.
I was, I think like for my kids, I am still able to refocus on them, because truly the only difference that we can make as mothers in the world is to raise children that do good and not create evil on this earth. I think it's like an evil destruction of mothers that's going on right now, that we are so focused on the outside world that we are incapable of refocusing on the world that truly matters, that it's right in front of us. It's the world of our kids who really need us. That is my absolutely just personal opinion. And I know it's so hard to accept that right now when the emotion is just so raw and so high. Yet I think it's in my beliefs and in my values, this is the truth, that the only full difference that we can make in the world is by making sure that we are kind and that our hearts do not accept what's happening around us, and that we can transfer that compassion and empathy to our children as well. Especially raising three boys, I'm constantly have to be mindful that I'm teaching them patience, that I'm teaching them compassion. And you cannot teach it with words. You really cannot. If I am short with them, they learn to be short with the world around us. If I'm impatient with them, if I'm angry with them, they learn to be angry with the world around them. So checking in with myself, that's kind of my commitment for the next week, to make sure that I have enough to give to them. And this is my true activism, like my sacred activism, my social activism is to raising children that will create, inshallah, good in the outside world.
This is the difference between me and you. The way you see things, so measured and poetic, whereas I'm still very emotional. I still lead with emotion. It is such an important way to look at things. I feel like maybe I did shortchange myself because, my daughter's still being taken care of. We still play with her. We still try to make things better. And like you said, like we want things to be, but we want our kids to be raised correctly in the right way with compassion so they can be better for the future. And the way you said it was just so beautiful. MashaAllah.
And I truly think the level of compassion and empathy you have for people around you, this is your superpower. That world is just not breaking. You're not going into the empathy fatigue. You were so focused on your child last week. You were so protective of her. She was going through certain challenges at school with a friend, and you were just that mother bear that she truly needed. That anger and rage that was brewing inside of you for Liam was transferred into protecting your own child. And I truly see how embroidery making such a big difference, because it does take you outside of this world in that meditative space. The beauty of discussing things with your coworkers and having that safe space, like alhamdulillah, what a beautiful workplace to have. And Mango, like I loved how he in the beginning there was just all this emotion rising up, and he came right away. What a beautiful animal, right? It felt it, and it came, and it was making this I don't know how you call it, but that gargling sound that the cat does when it's very comfortable. Purring. Yeah,
Yes.
it was doing the purring sound. Yes. And don't they do that usually to comfort themselves and others?
Yeah.
Like I had a
Yeah.
cat when
He's a beautiful boy, you know. He does keep me calm. I think it just hit me what you just said. Maybe the anger I had this week in my kid's school situation, maybe that energy just went to there and I just went like, scorched earth to take
and
care
it
of my kids.
takes emotional intelligence to be able to transfer that emotion into a thing that is actually benefiting your family. I was
Tell
also
me.
reflecting on yesterday, Norajan.
Mhm.
So I think the world collectively as a world, we are experiencing empathy fatigue right now, right? Like not you, you having
No, trust me,
empathy,
I'm feeling burned, but continue.
you having the empathy uprise. I tried so hard to find a doctor who speaks about empathy fatigue versus compassion. Please, like, if
Mm.
somebody knows that person, please comment and tell me who that was. I believe his first name was Tom. So he came to speak at my work one time for Nurses Week in 2021 when everybody was talking about compassion fatigue, pandemic,
Mhm.
and he divorced those two things. He,
Mhm.
based on his research and MRI scans that they were doing on people, right, that empathy fatigue is real, right? So there is, we keep empathy and compassion, we often just use it interchangeably, right? Compassion, empathy, but they are two different things. And compassion is the healing for empathy fatigue. So let me tell you why. That's what he shared with us. I'm not taking the credit for this thought. So he was sharing with us that empathy is like us feeling the feeling, right? So you are in pain and I'm feeling your pain with my whole body. Guess what's happening when you keep on feeling that pain with somebody? You just so uncomfortable, not because you're a bad person, but naturally you start building this wall between you and that person because you just cannot feel that pain anymore. And then you
Mhm.
start rationalizing why you build that wall, right? Oh, they're bad people. They like, they what Trump said that they're animals, right? So like you
Mhm.
start rationalizing that why you are not feeling empathy for this group of people. So,
Mhm.
and the true healing and the true cure for empathy fatigue is actually compassion. So so there's two types, like that type when you build in the wall, but then also that type when you don't have the wall and you still love that person and you still feeling all this pain and it's just so exhausting that you just depressed, right? You said like we have a collective depression. Yes.
Mhm.
So, and what is the healing for that? So what he shared with us that compassion is the healing for it. And then you're saying like, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, the definition is compassion is a little bit different, right? Compassion is when you see, don't feel, right? You see the other's pain. You can acknowledge it that there is pain. You can don't like completely immerse in that experience with them, but you are willing to come and help that person to deal with
Mhm.
their pain.
Mhm.
So the compassion has the action component. I disagree with what's happening to you. I wish
Mhm.
well for you and I want to change your circumstances for you. I
Mhm.
am here to make your experience better through actions. And what you said in the very beginning of our talk really confirmed that for me. You said the only way I start feeling better is when we decided to make this talk, right, about it. So I'm using social media, the only mean I have to advocate for those people.
Yeah.
And this is what exactly what he talked about, right? That the cure to that empathy fatigue or collective depression, as you called it, that feeling of that there's you are completely immersed in those people's pain and there's nothing you can do. versus compassion. When I see your pain, I acknowledge your pain, but I am removed from it and I'm consciously realizing that I am not your pain. And because I'm not your pain, I can use the energy and tools that I have to relieve your pain in any means that I have available for me. And I think for us it's this podcast, right? Like it's we're gonna try to in couple days to just release it. It's Sunday today when we're recording it. We're gonna just release it right away because this is the tool that we have in our possession at this moment of our lives when our kids are super small to engage in this proactive social activism. And please put your ideas down below, like in the comment section. You can message us, private message us, what are you doing to engage in this proactive activism while managing your mothering, your wife in, being going to work. So we're more than happy to hear from you, ladies. So thank you so much for being here today with us.
I just want to send love to Liam's mom. I want to send love to Alex Preddy's family. I want to send love to Renee Good's family and also everyone back in Gaza. We send love to everyone. We don't want this for anyone anymore. We are thinking of you. We're trying to find ways to help things get better, and we love you.
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in today with us. I join Norajan with that wishing of love and wellness and peace to all of those families, even though it's so hard to find that peace at this moment for all of us. All right. Salam alaikum. Bye.